On 5th of March 2002, my elder son took birth. And on 13th of March 2002, I left my job. A very well settled job I left. I was part of Reliance Industries Limited, which is right now also the largest corporate house of India. And in 1998, I joined them. So this entire story, this leaving of job in just 8 days of my elder son's birth, where you need the support more, has come from a story of 1998. How did that happen? So friends, I started my journey as a corporate employee in Reliance Industries Limited. And I was a bright student. I qualified as a chartered accountant in 21. Those of you who don't know, chartered accountancy is a very tough course. It is only 2% selection ratio. That's the kind of thing it has. And I had a wonderful career there. And then joined Reliance Industries Limited. For about 15, 20 days when I was part of Reliance, I was enjoying it. I was feeling that somebody is giving me work. I'm getting some work. But after a point of time, after about a month or so, I realized that whatever I'm doing as an office boy. Just like an office boy. Everybody was humiliating me. Everybody was torturing me. The reason was very simple, that I'm 21 and I joined as a middle management level. And they all are 30, 35 of their career, and they took almost about 10, 12 years or 13 years of their life to reach to that level. And that frustration, almost about four months, I suffered that. And one fine morning, I went to my general manager, Mr. G. Krishnamurthy, and I just went to him in tears, and I went there and I said to him, "Sir, I'm feeling very suffocated. I'm feeling very frustrated. I want to leave the job." That gentleman was a very, very clever gentleman, and he was a sharp person. As now he's a mentor to me. He did not look at me. He was doing something on computer. He just seen me and just said one thing, that finest steel has to pass through the hottest fire. Are you ready? That gave me a new life. That changed everything, and that became a golden sentence for me throughout my life. That was first rejection of my life as a corporate employee. Then for next 12 months from 2002, because I had told you that I left my job in 2002, the things went very well for 11 years. I was I was doing an investment banking. I was doing fantastic there. Then I started a startup. One of my cousins told me that everything in India is going to be changing. The taxi services are going to be online. The food delivery is going to be online. Everything is going to be online. Why don't you start a startup on a CA services? Because you are a great chartered accountant, you have quite a lot of people. Why don't you start a startup on a CA services? So I started my first startup, which was finmart.com in 2013. And for about 2 years, I struggled a lot. Invested all the money. It was a bootstrap. I invested all the money. And in 18 months or 19 months, I started realizing that I have become rejected as a startup founder. It is not working for me. And the reason was very simple, that as a chartered accountant, I may be great. But as a startup founder, as a person who can understand the technologies, I was bad. I was quite bad as a person who can understand technology. I was not knowing social media. I could not even attract a co-founder with me. And that was my biggest rejection as a startup founder. But I learned something out of that. I learned one thing: either you invest, either you innovate, or you invest in innovation. And that became my mantra for the life from 2013. From 2015-13, I went to the investing, started investing in startups, joined a VC fund in India as a partner, because I was doing other businesses also. And for about 4 years, 5 years, I was actively working with them. In 2020, pandemic year hit. We all of us know that it was a year of pandemic. March 2020 to September 2020, I was just doing one thing, was taking a master class across India on the Zoom to educate about this asset class, angel investing. Why we should do it, what's the asset class talk about, what are the nuances, how risky it is, and all that I was talking about. And then in September 2020, those founders with which I was working rejected me as a community builder because they thought that it was creating an insecurity for them. And again, the third rejection of my life, the first was a corporate employee, second was a founder, and third become a community builder. In 2020, October, I decided to launch my own network, V Founder Circle. And in next 36 months, today, November 2023, we are here. We are now the largest angel network of India. We have 17,000, close to 17,000 investors with us. They are coming from 56 countries. We have got investors from 670 cities of the world. We have 2 angel funds, one in SEBI India, which is India Fund. India investors can invest in India. We have another fund which is in Gift City, which is GIFT, which is there in Gandhinagar, which is an offshore fund where all the Indians can put money outside of India and all the people from outside of India can put the money in India. That we have done. And we have VC fund called Avinya Venture. We have an accelerator program. In last 3 years, we have invested close to 200 companies. Yes, friends, you heard it right, 200 companies. As a startup, in that companies we have invested. From that 2020 rejection, I learned one very important lesson. Smell the change, act on the change, and enjoy the change. So I'm enjoying that change. But after all these 3 rejections, I found one very important thing, that as an individual, you are lonely. If you are a corporate employee, you are lonely. If you are a founder, you are lonely. If you are an investor, you are lonely. You need communities. You need powerful communities to help you. And from last almost 3 years, I'm just doing that. I'm building communities across India. I've traveled more than, as my person who was introducing me was saying, Harish was telling me that I've traveled 60 cities. Friends, in last almost about 3 years, I've traveled 100 cities of India. India is beyond Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore. There are 100 cities in India which has 1 million population, more than 1 million population. And I'm talking about that. They are waiting for a new opportunity. Startup founders are waiting there. Investors are waiting for an opportunity. And that's what I did in last almost about 36 months. I'm just doing that. I wanted to create an ecosystem for people that they don't feel lonely. They don't feel lonely and communities support them. That's the recent success example. I just wanted to take it. One of our founder who was a 20 years IIT graduate, very, very successful, eventually failed. It was a portfolio company for us. They were on a national TV. There is an event, the Shark Tank. They were there, and he started crying. On a national TV, you can understand the suffocation of a founder if somebody can cry on a national TV. Friends, with the help of this community only, we could arrange another co-founder of ours, who was basically a portfolio company, bought out that company, and now all the 3, that founder who founded that company, the new founder who bought that company, and the investors, all the 3 get comfortable because of that. And just an impact of ecosystem community. So I want to leave you with a thought that as an investor, you need not to only give the financial capital. You need to give them ecosystem capital. You need to give them the network capital. And that's what we are doing. Thank you. Thanks a lot.